kick it off with welcome to the first episode of the Gratitude Pod, where we highlight members from the Gratitude Soiree community, where we highlight Hizan and the amazing work that Eileen and her community and our community is doing. And it's such a pleasure to kind of moderate this this gratitude pod and to have both of you on this Friday. And without further ado, I'll let Eileen share a little bit about the idea behind this, because it wasn't just me. I think it was over a year ago we were on a boat off the coast of Miami,
Yes.
and you had an idea for a podcast.
Well,
So I would love to learn more about that from you.
oh my God, it was really amazing. So I met Eric, it seems like forever, but it was a little bit over a year ago. And we were talking about, well, how can we be of service to others? And so I asked him a question and I said, well, you know what? What is your story? Tell me a little bit more about you, what you want to do, what inspires you, and what motivates you. And so it kind of like, blossom into what we're doing right now, where we co-host a gratitude soiree, and we invite people from around the world to join us to just like take a pause and to be reminded of how beautiful and of what a great blessing it is to be living a beautiful life. And so today we are very excited to share with you that we have also another initiative, which is to help single mothers, help them with their pursuit of a higher education, to help their family live a beautiful life. And through that, we have volunteers and dedicated sponsors that help them navigate the celebrations and challenges of life. And today we have Thomas Rodriguez. He is one of our awesome volunteer and also an amazing mentor to one of our scholarship recipients. And we want to chat about you, get to know you, and tell us about, what is beautiful in your life.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I'm really happy that you invited me. I've enjoyed so much participating in the gratitude circle and the monthly gratitude soirees. It's really been a lot of fun. I was really thankful too when you guys told me about the mentoring program, because that meant a lot to me. And I took me about a split second to decide that I wanted to raise my hand and offer to be part of that program. Just a real quick little bit about myself. My story, and I think as it pertains to appreciation, gratitude, and my desire to help others by being a coach or a mentor. It kind of goes back to when I was a kid. My parents divorced when I was about 7. My father died when I was about 15. And my mother raised my brother and I as she was a single mom working on the income of a 7th grade English teacher. And she got her teaching credential after my parents got divorced. And that, I think, history and for me really made this program within He's On International very appealing to me, because I just, the thought of single mothers getting an education to further their career and help their families really resonates pretty deeply with me. I received a lot of love from my mom over the years, but she was very busy working. So I didn't receive all that much guidance from her. And of course, my dad had died when I was 15. So when I found myself in my later learning years in college and getting out into the workplace, I was a little bit on my own and didn't feel like I had a whole lot of support. Um, and as I went through my career, I realized that most of the people who were in a position to support me as a boss or a supervisor or something like that didn't have a whole lot of desire to help me navigate some of the nuances of my career. They just wanted me to do my job well. And I realized that I could be different. I could be the coach that I never had. I could be that for others. So really, when I got my first opportunity to be a supervisor at work, and I worked in an engineering firm for most of my career, I had direct reports, staff who were reporting to me, and I took a great interest in them. And I really, coached people and helped them to advance and excel in their careers. And that was really a fun part of my job for me. I did retire about 2 years ago. And when I thought about, what parts of my job did I like the most, it was really coaching people and mentoring. And so I decided to continue with that in my retirement, sort of like my encore career, if you will, is to be a coach. So I'm studying coaching now, and I'll probably be launching a new practice here sometime later this year.
Oh, that is so exciting. I love it. You have a gift, you have a superpower. And I just love that you're going to continue on, passing on the knowledge that you've learned through your journey. And I appreciate that. That's really wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And, I just wanted to mention that I'm not sure I have any superpowers, really, but I do have a gift. And I think the gift I have is that I firmly believe that people know the answers to what they want to do, to what they need to do. And it's up to me to help them find it.
Mhm.
So I don't tell people what to do when I coach. I don't treat people like they don't know and that I'm the wise one who's going to tell them what to do. It's really all about engaging with folks and helping people find the answers to what they need to do. But we all have tremendous powers inside us. And I think the role of a mentor or a coach is really to help bring those powers out in the people who we engage with.
Would you be able to share like one of your most important lessons that you've come across in mentoring? What did you see? Did you see any difference or any transformation? And how did that make you feel?
Yeah, well, I think the most important lesson that I learned as a mentor and a coach over my career has been that people can do a lot when they feel heard and when they have somebody in their corner. So just that small part of being there for someone and letting them know that I want to help them, that puts a whole different perspective on things. And when people can trust that and they can open up and talk about it, it makes all the difference. So I really think that I think we can all benefit from the kindness and the support of at least one person in our lives who can tell us, I care about you, I care about what you're trying to do, and I can help you find your way to get there.
Sounds like you've been coaching for your whole life before, and just now you're starting to go through getting the certification and all of that and opening your practice. But if I had to imagine, you've been a coach, like you said, in your career and in your family and in all aspects of your life. So it's amazing to see you applying that to the people in your life and to the new coaching practice, but also to mentoring for Hizan and for the single moms. And I'd love to hear a little bit about what that feels like to be in this mentorship program as a mentor for single mothers. When you've shared about your mom, and
Yeah,
it's kind of like coming, don't want to put words in your mouth, but speak a little bit to that experience for you right now.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like maybe you were going to say coming full circle, but it does kind of feel that way. Yeah. You know, when my mom and dad got divorced, and I was 6 or 7 years old when they got divorced, um, I was just in no position to do anything to really help with that, right? Um, but as I think about it now, I would have loved for my mother to have somebody in her life, who could really kind of be there to just help her to, help coach her through, getting her teaching credential and going in and starting work. She did it. She did it well, and I'm sure she had some support with it. And I guess maybe my thought is that as a kid, what are the odds that I'd get the opportunity to support somebody trying to do the same sort of thing that my mom did? So in a way, it's kind of like, it's like a blessing, it's like, wow, I can actually give back, to the greater karma, and make a contribution of goodness, that's in line with all the gratitude that I feel for my mom and what she did, and anybody out there who I may not have known about because I was so young, but I'm sure she got some support along the way. And I'm really grateful to those people who did that. And I'm really happy that I can do it to give back.
Eileen, we talked a bit about the format of these gratitude podcasts and of these conversations. And one of the things I know we both want to hear from you and for you to share with the community is, what is it that really makes you feel good? Like, what are you grateful for in your life? And how does the gratitude circles that we have every month um, play into that for you?
I think that really for me, there are probably three things that really make me feel good in life. And I think that one of them is my family and being part of my family, raising my kids, the memory of having raised my kids, but continuing to be involved with my kids in their adult lives. Um, uh, then right behind that, I think would be probably eating healthy food and exercising. I just feel that staying healthy is a really important part of enjoying life. And for me, my mother, in addition to being a very good mom and an English teacher, she was also a dancer. And she worked professionally as a dancer when she was a young woman. But then she continued to teach dancing lessons in ballroom and flamenco dancing for her entire life until she was 80 years old when she stopped doing that. And she did instill in me an ethic to stay active and take care of my body and eat healthy foods and things like that. And so I've tried to do that, and I love the way it makes me feel at this stage of my life. I feel like I'm ready for the next stage. So I think being healthy and in physically fit is a good part of that. The other thing that's really important to me is personal and social engagement and connection. I think it's really important to have a healthy and vibrant social life and a good network of friends and people who I feel known by and feel like I I know them and we can support each other and have fun together. And that's really a lot of fun. Right now, I've got friends who I go biking with and mountain biking and backpacking and things like that. And so it's a really important part of my life is staying involved and engaged with other people. And then probably the last two things that make me feel good. One is just contribution in some way. And at this point in my life, I think, well, all through my life during my career and raising a family, I was contributing in various ways. And at this point in time, I'm still looking for that. And I think the contribution will always be really important to me. And the last one is gratitude. I'm not saying it because of the gratitude circle. I really feel that gratitude is just so important. And if we're mindful and we think about it, there are things every day that we can be grateful for. And it makes us, I think it makes me into a better person when I feel grateful and I approach life that way.
I took notes here, and you talk about family, you talk about health is wealth, you talked about the connections with all of your relations, you talk about contribution, and above all, you talk about the gratitude, and you have this sphere, a balanced sphere that, you know, that actually you radiate because you speak of it. And I think it's just so lovely to hear that that is your recipe to feel good. And gosh, it's so true. It is so true.
It is. And I remember years ago, I started journaling when I was probably a young man, I guess in my 20s. I wish I had started before that, but you know, it's always good to start at some point. But one year I wanted to keep a gratitude journal, and I did that all year long. And it was actually a scrapbook, so I pasted things into it from different trips I took and stuff like that. And that really helped to kind of, you know, carve a path for me that I've stayed in ever since then. I didn't keep doing that gratitude journal after that, but I look back on it now and I remember that year, and it was so much fun to document all of that. And I feel like my ability to just recognize the goodness in a situation and in my life has been really illuminated and turned on, I think, a lot better since I did that. And now it's like I feel like I see and I appreciate things. I don't have to write about it every day. Although I do, you know, when I journal, I do tend to write about things I'm grateful for, but it was a lot of fun doing that, Aylene. So I think the gratitude circle that you and Eric have started is just a wonderful thing for everybody involved.
I believe that as we all enter into the circle of gratitude, all of us makes it so beautiful, and each one of us participate in bringing us in this oneness and this like happiness. Mm-hmm. To just be reminded that there's so much to be thankful for. We are so blessed, and we are just so blessed to have you here. Eric, would you like to ask him like the big question?
Well, before the big question, I just wanted to know, so Tom, you've been to a lot of the gratitude, maybe all of the gratitude, the monthly gratitude soirees since we started 5 months ago in December. Which have been your favorite ones? Like what stands out to you when you think back to all the different gatherings we've had?
Oh gosh, I mean, I really liked, I'm not sure if this is just because my memory is not that good going back, but the last two that we did, I really enjoyed. So it was Cynthia Mannion's book where we talked about that. That was a lot of fun. And then recently doing the, what would we call it? The laughter yoga. I thought that was really a lot of fun as well. So I thought both of those two were really, really rewarding to be in. I recall in the laughter yoga, I was sitting outside. I was actually on vacation during that one. So I was traveling. I was staying at an Airbnb with some friends and with my wife. And I joined into the laughter yoga, and I went and I sat out on the back porch on the second floor of this Airbnb house. on the coast in California, actually in Carmel. It was kind of fun. So I'm out there and I'm laughing, right? And I'm just going through and I'm doing the laughter yoga. And when it was all done, I came back inside, and I got my act together and I went out down to the living room, and I was sitting with my friends, and they had the back door open onto a lower deck on a different part of the house. And they said, "Tom, we heard you laughing up there. What were you laughing about? You sounded like you were having such a great time." So that was really fun for me.
I just a shout out to Eileen and to Dr. Kataria, because Eileen finds these amazing speakers each month for us to really to bring their wisdom and their practices, whether it's dancing or laughter or journaling or all of it. So shout out to Eileen. Thank you so much for finding those. And I think
it's so beautiful. I'm so happy you enjoyed it. I'm thinking about it too. And wow, he's an amazing man. And just a little shout out to Dr. Kateria too. May 7th is World Laughter Day. So please join us and laugh with us and play with us.
And I think we decided, like, for this the final part of the podcast, we'd have a big question, the big question. And it really is, it's this. It's if you were given a chance to send, like, imagine a giant PSA, like you could record a video and just it would every single human being on the planet, their phone would ring, they would pick it up, they would watch it for 30 seconds, and you could use this to promote something that you feel very passionate about, that you could share a message that you feel very inspired, whether it's something, a way they can contribute, a thing to remember. What would you send in that message to everybody?
That's a good message. Would be relatively short, and it would just be that we all do better when we work together and support each other. And so look for opportunities to collaborate, look for the people who, are in your corner that you can be working with to make good things happen. And from there, just approach life and everything you're trying to do with mindfulness, with curiosity, and with gratitude. And from that, I think that's the formula. From there, we can do just about anything.
And I'd love to ask you too, just with that kind of bringing it into practical application for, like, everyday life. I know you collaborate in a few different communities and programs and philanthropies. This is also an opportunity for the community members to highlight and to shout out anybody in their lives who's doing a really good job. Is there anything you want to mention or direct people to if they want to look into it more or participate? I know Jess and some other people are doing some great programs.
Yeah. And I was going to mention that one. So I have a friend named Jessica Keogh, who has a nonprofit organization called Faith Above My Ability. And this is an organization that advocates for people with physical disabilities, and raising funds to develop programs that can help these people get the services that they need, particularly folks who are making the move from high school into college and from college into the workplace. Jess is doing wonderful work with that. Jess herself is physically disabled. She's in a wheelchair and has other disabilities that really made her life very challenging in terms of just basic needs and getting basic services And she has, I think, very aptly navigated the change from high school into college, and then from college into the workplace. She's a teacher now of special education, and she is just getting her PhD in that, and will be continuing to work in that field. So she's a great person that has a lot of stuff going on. The other one I'll just mention is for anyone who's in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Environmental Council is a great organization. I was on the board of that organization for about 20 years earlier in my career. And that organization has a lot of really good things happening. So that's a couple, Eric.
Thank you so much for sharing, because I think the more we know, the more that we can provide support for Jessica, and also in your local area, local region, about the environmental movement. So we'd like to maybe, if you have that information, we'd love to put that on our social media broadcast to let other people know, because Jessica's story truly inspires me. That's really amazing. And I would like to see how we can support in any way we can.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you for that.
Oh, our pleasure, with gratitude. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us, and for sharing your story, and for allowing us to get to know you a little bit more and what is important to you. And I want to thank your commitment to helping others. I think it's very important. You talked about when you do good, there is a ripple effect to it, and in collaborating, we can do a lot more, because together we can. And I appreciate you, and I am so grateful for Eric for providing this space and providing a meaningful conversation, so that we can be in abundance together. Thank you so
I
much.
agree. Thank you very much, Aylene. And what you're doing is wonderful. And Eric, what you're doing is wonderful. And thank you so much for inviting me to come in and talk today. It was nice spending time with you guys.
I'll just do a quick shout out to just about the next gratitude soirees. It's the third Wednesday of every month. And you can sign up. We'll have the link below, and you can support He's On and the mission by checking them out on social media, and by donating also, because they're raising money to support single mothers and this mentorship program and everything that's involved with these scholarships. And it's a really beautiful cause. So if it moves your heart, then definitely take some time and donate either your time or your money. And most importantly, find something in your life that you want to volunteer for, and share it with us. Share what you're doing, so we can maybe have you on the next episode of the Gratitude Pod.
You're amazing, Tom. Thank you so much.